Welcome in, everybody. Today is November 29th, and we're here for the LEGO recap. We have a number of sets that have made it to 10,000 supporters on the LEGO Ideas program. And speaking of the LEGO Ideas program, we have the new Dungeons & Dragons fan vote is up. So we're going to take a look at that. On top of that, we have a few new rumors, a few new descriptions of sets that will be coming out next year. So I think without any further ado, we should dive right into it. Let's go. First thing I want to talk about here is, of course, the new D&D fan vote. It's live. It's out there, and you should totally go take a look at the 5 submissions that did make it through to the final round and vote for your favorite. So all of these 5 submissions are getting a fantastic prize pack already. There is no guarantee that the one that receives the most votes will be made into an official set, as LEGO has decided that they're using this, or at least the way it's been worded, it seems like LEGO will be deciding whether or not to proceed with a full-on D&D theme. Hopefully, this is what we're hoping, or if they're just going to make one set and one and done sort of thing. But considering there's over 620 entries into the contest, I'd say there's a pretty good fan base out there for them. So we'll take a quick look through the 5 that did make it through that you can vote for now. We do have the Monster Manual, which does have a lot of key characters from the D&D world, and they're all looking fantastic here. Although I don't know what I think about the little googly eyes. It almost makes it a little too cutesy. But of course, these aren't the final models either. They may be adjusted if it does end up winning. We have Xanathar, the Beholder. Xanathar is, of course, a well-read beholder and head of the Thieves Guild. And you can see he has all of his tomes of knowledge behind him there. The neat thing about this set is the desk doubles as a dice box, so it actually opens up. You can store your dice in there. And the bookshelf doubles as a dice tower, so you can actually remove that crate up at the top, drop your dice down, and they will come out one of the bottom cupboards there. So I kind of like this one. It's not a bad build. Third up, we have the Transforming Mimic. There was a lot of mimics that were submitted into the program. This one is not my favorite, but it's not bad. It's not a bad one. It does actually open up to have teeth on the inside as well, and it does reveal eyes when it folds out fully, which is kind of neat. So they've captured a good amount of the mimic. But I think my favorite part is the idea that the placard with the information actually rotates with the mimic changing, essentially. Fourth one, we have Tiamat's Dice Tower. Tiamat, the infamous 5-headed dragon, queen of the dragons, sitting atop this dice tower, where again you can roll your dice through the top of the tower, come out in this nice tray at the bottom. It does come with a nice selection of minifigures as well, which I think is one of the key things we need to see if these are going to be made, is some good Dungeons & Dragons minifigures. So 4 figures, a giant dragon. Sadly, there's no really good images of the dragon and whether it comes off the tower or not, but it's not a bad build. I don't know how loud it would be or how easy it would be to transport this. You know, this is my concern about a dice tower, is bringing this to your D&D game might not be the easiest thing to do. But if they're coming to you, hey, let's go. Finally, we have Dragon's Keep Journey's End. Now, this almost falls more into the sort of fantasy castle line, where you have your heroes combating the dragon, protecting the inn and the dungeon, and it does rotate to see that there is a small brick-built beholder in the back there as well. It does capture a lot of the essence of D&D. You know, these mighty heroes fighting this ferocious beast trying to save the town. I really like this set. I think it's beautiful, but it is rather large, so my concern would be a price on this one and how expensive it would get. But I do like the look of this set. So go on over to the LEGO Ideas website and make sure you vote for your favorite. And one of them, by the looks of it, will likely get made into a LEGO set. So I'm excited to see what they come up with for that. Now, speaking of LEGO Ideas, we have 5. We have 5 different sets that have made it into the 10,000 supporters club. We're going to start off with the Lover House, which is from the Taylor Swift song. Personally, this is absolutely nothing for me, but what it reminds me of is the BTS Dynamite set that made it through last year. I think it was last year. And, you know, based off of a well-known, well-loved artist, that seems to be the selling point as to why it had 10,000 supporters. Likely that's what's happened with this one as well, is a lot of Taylor Swift fans have come and voted for this just because they want additional, you know, Taylor merch. Whether it's going to make it through or not, I kind of hope not. It's kind of ugly. But LEGO would make a full adjustment over it and make it, you know, a little more appealing. Much like, again, the BTS Dynamite set, which is very lackluster as it stands, but has the potential for more. Next up, we have the Jack Skellington's house. Now, this is beautifully done. LEGO does have the licenses, or at least they did have license to Nightmare Before Christmas with Disney and everything, of course. I do have the Jack and Sally minifigures from the collectible line. It just feels like this is a must. It's a must-have, and the angles that have been captured with this build is just fantastic. It's actually spectacular. I really hope this one makes it through. Might be a little costly. Like, it's not a small build, that's for sure, but it looks beautiful. It looks wonderful, and I really do hope it makes it. Next up, we have the Clock Tower. The Clock Tower Park. Beautiful build. Absolutely amazing. My problem with it is the size. Again, size is, you know, they say size isn't everything. Well, when it comes to a LEGO set, the bigger it gets, the more expensive it's going to get. And it also looks to be on one of the big 48x48 base plates rather than the 32x32, which makes it a little harder to fit into your modular city if that's what you've got going on. This would fit wonderfully into a city if it was a little smaller. Just a little bit smaller. Again, the other problem is it will be very cost prohibitive if this were to ever make it through. So I have a feeling it's not going to make it, but it's beautiful. It's very well done. They've done an incredible job actually capturing all the details of the tower and the garden, and they've got the stairs on the inside there so you can climb up to the top. Even the cobblestone and the crosswalk they've got you know, painted into the cobblestone. They've done a good job there, but I just think it's a little bit too big. But we'll see. Time will tell. Next, we have the Alpine Refuge, which has just recently received 10,000 supporters. Another beautiful building. I don't know. I can't see this one making it because the A-frame cabin just made it through. Now, I realize it's not the same as the A-frame cabin, but it still has that same sort of vibe, that same, you know, follows along the same sort of theme or idea. Again, very well made. It does consist of just under 3,000 pieces, so that whole cost thing I was just talking about, it's just going to be another problem here. It's going to be, you know, out of scope for a lot of people. Just $300-400 set. I'm good. I don't need it. It doesn't fit in with anything. It looks nice on its own, but if you think even back to the fishing hut, you could make that work in a city or a village, especially since it was a complete build, whereas this one is just the front facade. You've got the whole open back, so I feel like it doesn't fit quite as nicely into a modular village, but hey, look good on a shelf. Look very good on a shelf. Finally, the last one to make it through is the Flip Clock. It's achieved 10,000 supporters. Now, this is incredibly well done, and I don't believe it's accurate, but it's I love the idea that, you know, it is a working clock. It's a working, well, timer of sorts, not necessarily a clock. So you do have your minutes, of course, on the left, you have your seconds on the right, and it counts them at a regular pace based on a Lego motor that is connected to the back. So, and it doesn't look bad either. It's kind of got that neat, you know, mechanical, almost not quite steampunky, but it's got a good look to it too. I like this set. Would I buy it if they made it? Maybe. I would actually consider this one. I kind of like this one. All right, moving on from there, there are a couple of extensions to some of the gift with purchases that are out there right now. If you are planning on purchasing the Eiffel Tower, you no longer need to fret about getting it before the end of the month. They are extending this promotion until the end of the year, so December 31st, or while supplies last. So anytime you get the Eiffel Tower between now and then, It should come along with Eiffel's apartment, which is currently fetching a decent amount due to its very high entry to get this set. But we'll see how many more come out into the market. I think this may end up like the lightsabers with the Star Wars sets, where it could have a very high value due to, again, its scarcity in the long run. But that Eiffel Tower is beautiful. The other one that was extended is the Fun and Funky pack. Normally it was, originally it was planned to just come back for the end of this month, but now they're extending this until the end of the year, or while supplies last as well. So this one's just a $50 purchase on anything Lego at all, and it is full of absolutely amazing parts. If you haven't got one, I highly recommend you grab one. They're so much fun. Pigs! We all need a few more pigs in our life. Lego pigs, you know? We have a new image of another future gift with purchase. This one should be coming out sometime next month, December. We of course have the elves set, the elves scene just this past 2 weekends. Beautiful little set, and to go along with that, they are releasing the little Santa's workshop here that does sort of slide next to each other, so they actually go together beautifully. And again, as a gift with purchase, it's just chocked full of awesome little bits and pieces. The pink controller. I always love these little like little trophy figures or nano figures, if you will. And then of course the elf here to go ahead and paint, even though nothing is green here. What's this elf painting? Itself? Is that what's going on? I don't know. It'll probably have about the same threshold to get, though, that $170 sort of price tag, or 200 and I think it was 220 Canadian, somewhere in that range. So it's not going to be easy, after all of the other weekends that we've had, the VIP weekend, Black Friday weekend. But if you still got your eyes on something, you can get this one too. Next, we have a few new descriptions for upcoming sets for next year. One that is rumored is an ATV and otter habitat. ATV and otter habitat. We've seen the otter in the past with Harry Potter. It was one of the Patronuses, so it was a translucent blue with sparkles otter. So there's no reason they couldn't just, reuse that. Different color, maybe paint a face on it. Good to go. And I like the price point of this set. $10 US, probably around 13 Canadian. 90 pieces, so it'll be, a small little build, probably a tiny habitat for the otter. ATV will be 30 odd pieces or whatever. Presumably one minifigure. It's not bad. It's not bad to build up a army of otters, or wait and see if they show up on Bricks and Pieces online. Then you can get your army of otters that way. Otters rule. And finally, the last little bit of information of upcoming sets we have is the new Jurassic Park sets. The next year marks the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, and to go along with it, looks like LEGO will be releasing a series of sets based on the original movie. So it looks like we're going to get the Velociraptor Escape coming in at $35. So we don't have a lot of details about these sets yet, but the name in the title at least suggests what kind of dinosaurs we could look forward to. Velociraptors are not really a big surprise. The Dilophosaurus ambush, probably the toilet scene, maybe, perhaps. Coming in at $20. The search for the Triceratops coming in at $50. The one that I am most interested in seeing is the discovery of the Brachiosaurus. We've never really had any long necks made in LEGO, at least not as a molded piece. We've had sort of brick-built pieces in the past, but through Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, we've never seen anything like that. So if we get a new Brachiosaurus figure, I'm excited to see how big that's going to be, or if it's just going to be a brick-built sort of thing. It is only coming in at $80, so it's not, it's not a huge price point, but it could have a very low piece count. This is kind of what I'm guessing with this one. It's going to have a low piece count, but a high cost, all due to the Brachiosaurus. But we'll see. And finally, the last one is the Visitor Center Attack of the T-Rex. I mean, $120. This is supposed to be that iconic scene, of course, in theory, with the T-Rex in the Visitor Center. But we'll see. Time will tell on that one. There is one more little piece of info. I don't really have any overlays or anything for it, but there is also rumors of a Rivendell set coming out next year. So the rumors so far are saying March the 1st, and this set will be coming in at $500 US, 670 Canadian dollars. Presumably, possibly with some minifigures, but it does look like this will mark the... I don't know about the return of Lord of the Rings into LEGO sets, based on the numbering system, because we have a set number potential for it. Again, these are all rumors and speculations at the moment. But based on that, it looks like it'll be more part of the Icons line as opposed to part of a new theme line, like how Jurassic World is its own theme, Star Wars is its own theme. This new giant set looks like it's going to be specifically a one-off. And again, the rumors so far are suggesting it will be of Rivendell. So keep your eyes and ears open as we find more. We'll be discussing it. And if you wish to discuss as well, then make sure to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thelocalbrickshop, where we talk about this live every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. typically. So if you want to give your opinions on what you think of a new Rivendell set, or what you think of the new Jurassic World sets, or maybe which D&D set you want to vote for, make sure you come on over and join in. I also stream on Wednesdays from 8 p.m. until usually about midnight. We do some kind of LEGO build and always have a LEGO giveaway every single Wednesday. So you want to make sure that you don't want to miss that, right? Free LEGO? Oh, free LEGO. If you want any more info, all the socials are down below. Just go click the links, including all the affiliate links for LEGO and all that as well. And yeah, I appreciate you coming on in here. If you like what you see, like and subscribe down below so that we can we'll keep making these videos. And until next time, thanks for joining me, and happy building.